Right, look at this. Let's get this out. This is a lovely long piece of aluminium. Now, this is actually thinner. This is the aluminium I've been using, which goes over the wood. This one's actually thinner, so I think it's 25mm, not 30mm or 32mm, but the profile is thicker inside, so it's actually stronger. I mean, that is really strong. I don't actually want to try and bend it, but it's really strong. And this is gonna take over from this that we made, that quite just was a bit of a failure. It just didn't work. Sometimes you just don't know if something's going to work until you have a go. So this will try and salvage a little bit of the wood at the end here, but that one has to be marked down as a no-go. Right, we've got the tube clamped. So kind of okay. You have to be careful with aluminium tube. You don't want to squash the tube, albeit this is pretty hefty tube, but I want to get these holes right square. So I'm using 3.2mm drill bit, and these are size 8 screws, so I think they're 4mm. They seem to be a little bit under when I measure them. And then all we're going to do is get one of these right on the end, and we're just going to mark it off, making sure it's right in the middle. There we go. Right, and let's drill. Now we're only going through the first skin, so we're not going all the way through. We're going to screw this side in first. There is an issue with the fact we've got stainless steel and aluminium together here. You know, it can corrode. The two metals joining can corrode. But I think the fact of the matter is we keep our eye on it. Well, that's actually a bit tight. I thought it might be a little bit tight. So what we're going to do, we're going to just open up. I've got a horrible feeling number 8 screws are 4.2mm, not just under 4. So let's just drill that out slightly more with a 3.5mm bit, and then we'll just try again. I don't want to do the hole too big, because it just means that you won't get a really good, you know, the screw will just thread really. So I'm going to go and screw right through here. There we go, and they don't thread. I mean, they are solid as anything. So there's the first one. That's the first fairly, whatever you want to call it, attached. Now that's going to be the front of this, and that's where my spinnaker's intended to sail. So it's going to be a little bit touchy-feely, this. I'm just measuring this stick. Yeah, I do remember the stick's 10 centimetres longer. Well, yeah, 10 centimetres longer than the one I made. So it's probably a little bit big. If it's a little bit big, we can always turn that over, use that as the pull down support, and put something in at the top here. Or, you know, we just chop this down and redo these. So it's not a big deal. I think like everything else, because I'm not doing this right by the boat, I have to do a little bit of trial and error. But that's the first thing done. The next thing I need to do is, at the other end of this pole, we need to now put the hole for the string to go through. Yeek. I don't need that. Actually, I can put it on under here underneath, because I've got the pilot holes done, fortunately. Let's just get it on there, because it will help just to keep that secure. There we go. And then just let me pop this in the little bin. A few bits of metal there. So that hole's probably perfect. And let's get this 3mm string. That 3mm string will then go through here. And it will thread through like this. Let's show you how that will be. Let's move this out of the way. So that'll thread through. The bow of the boat is coming like this and like this. So imagine if the cleats are there and there. This or there. This string will go through the bottom of the cleat and we'll just cleat it off nice and tight. And then this side we do the same. So that should stop the pole from going up and down. There'll be obviously a little bit of play in it because it's where there's lines involved. You can never get it totally straight. But what I think I'll do is make sure this is long enough. And what I'm actually now going to do is just a quick figure of 8 knots in here. I think I did a figure of 8 knot then. In the end here, right around and through, yeah. So that's going to be about there. And that should be all we need to stop this coming through, yeah. And then I'm just going to get this string, make it the same size roughly. There we go. And that's good. That's good. So there we go. That's going to be, that is now replacing this T-piece that we had before. Nothing wrong with this other than it needs its own cleats. And, which, you know, is extra stuff being screwed into the gunnels. And it's horrendous to store. That was the big thing I didn't think of. This is just horrendous to store. I mean, look at it. It's complicated. Fiberglass, wood, just complicated. So this now will be much easier to store because it's just a pole profile. Hopefully quite quick and simple to fit. It's going to fit to existing cleats that we've got. And we'll see how it goes, you know. The nose of the boat and the drop nose pin that we have goes through there. I'm hoping it will go just slightly over it. If not, we'll have to drill a tiny profile through there. I'm just aware we don't want this to bend though. The idea was this would go under the pin. So we've got something stopping. That's now removed the leverage from right at the end to here. And then the other end of this, the string should then keep this from going this way and up and down. And then what we can do is put another one of these. I don't know. I don't think you'd have it at the end. You'd have it somewhere here. Say this is where the bow. Say this is where the bow pin is, the end of the boat. Maybe you have it about there, and you just have a line going from there to the towing eye. To hold this down even further if we need it. It is quite hard to get to that towing eye, I'm not going to lie. But if we get a kind of a piece of elastic maybe, that you can really stretch it and connect here, we could have that pre-connected. And then the other thing we can do here is put another one of these, you know, here. You could even have 3, couldn't you? For different distances. But there's no sense, it makes no sense having 3. I'm going to just do the one. We're going to measure it and then we'll see. And then the fact that this is aluminium and it's hollow, it means that there's going to be no water getting in it. The water will just flow freely. Yes, aluminium will corrode, but it takes a hell of a long time to corrode compared to wood. It's light, it's really strong, especially tensile strength. So, you know, let's give this a go. That's all we can do. The only thing I've got to do, which I haven't done, is I've just realised I've just got to take this rope back out because I've got to just take off the little bird edges and I want to get the Dremel and just make these holes nice and smooth. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have rope just cutting itself quite quickly on this. Okay, we've got the new washers. So let's see if we can get like everything else. You can't buy anything in like this is a pack of 10. They've got a bit of a rough texture to them, which is interesting. And this, the moment of truth, will be if it fits over here properly, which yes it does. It's very hard to know exactly the inner diameter, but that is perfect. Look at that. Oh, awesome. And of course these aren't perished or basically knackered. So that's that sorted. Hopefully that will resolve the problem when we go down to the boats. This is the little template that I've made my lazarette bunghole plugs up with out of silicone. I make the mould out of 3D print, and then I fill that with silicone, and out pops the little rubber bung that hopefully works. I've realised that if my drain plug bung fails, I've got nothing to sort of help me out. So I've made a bigger version of this, and I'm gonna make another silicone or a couple maybe of these for my just in case the bung fails. So or the drain plug, should I call it, fails. So we're going to print these out now as well, get them in the queue for today, and we're going to make a couple of those as well, just to, just for emergency cases. Here's the Jetboil. This was Jetboil Mark 2, and this actually went round here. Just get it on the right spot, and then the and then the heater element will go underneath. Now the problem with that is it was good for a test, but there's two problems with that. Obviously the melting point of this, I've now measured it roughly, and I think it's just going to be too touch and go for this. But the other thing was, this is too into the middle of the pan. What I really want is the pan hanging from the top, really, like that, because you can see how the inertia, the point of balance is higher. So instead of here, this would be throwing it around. Let me just exaggerate that for you. It would be going like that. Here, it's sort of going like that, opposed to that. So you want your swinging point on the top. So I've printed this. This is a new part. It's going to use the same philosophy as this, but it's a new part. And what it'll do, it'll go around this little, if you look here, there's a little ridge on the pot. And that's going to go on the pot, and then we're going to tighten that up with a screw. And actually that could stay on the pot while we're sailing. And that's going to do a really good job of keeping that nice and tight. So that's the first part, and that'll replace this element here. I'm actually, as we talk, printing out this whole piece again at the right size. Things are taking a little longer because they're a little bit bigger. So once I've printed that off, I'll show you, and we'll try and get that collar fitted. Then it'll be on the same principle as this. We'll have a little swinging arm that will come this way, which will be this outer piece, and then the sort of horizontal axis is just going to be taken account by this. And all we've got to do is just find a way of getting this secure but swingy still. So, we can get it secure and lock it down, but I want to keep it swingy. So let's wait for the printer to print, and then we will continue the project. Right, we've got the second part printed. So let's just get rid of some of the little rough bits on those edges there. That's better. This is the swinging arm bit. So this is the bit that goes, in fact, let's just take those out on here. And then I don't think I bother with a washer. I tried with a washer in between, and it seems to just tighten it up a bit too much. So I stick that through. Little washer on the outside. I might actually have to use slightly smaller screws, but these will do for now. And then what we need is little nylock close nylock bolt there, because then we can maybe undo that. Obviously it's at the bottom at the moment, so let's get that now clicked back around here. So I would have that maybe this way round, but you could have it any way around. You could have it like that way. Let's do it at 90 degrees. The reason this nut is so long is so you don't have to undo the whole thing to put it on. And this doesn't actually need to be that tight, as long as it's, you know, not going to come off there. And then we've got this already, which now this would be, let's try and mock this up. So we would have this on the mast, and I'm hoping we can maybe use the same camera as we use for the mizzen cam. That'll be stuck on the mast because we know that sticks like billio. This would then click into there like that, and then this would simply screw into this. So let's just let's get this sorted. Let's just get that. Why is that not going in? Oh, it's not. There we go. And then like that. Now the only thing is how strong this little bit of plastic will be, because it's 3D printed. You know, it's not going to have. It's not too bad, is it? So that would be like that, and then this gives you your horizontal sort of twist. So I need another machine screw. Hoping I can get it. There we go. Obviously it's going to get a bit stiff when it... There we go. But there's the general idea. So that will go on there and click into the GoPro holder. Let's just try and hold that onto there like that. And then there we go. That will go like that. And if we go left and right, that's the left and right. Now, we do need a little bit of, yeah, I think that's enough. I think if we're moving more than this on the boat, then there's something up. Do you know what I mean? And then this, I think it's because we're just at a little bit of an angle on there and it's just catching. That will give us that movement. I also think this needs to be squarer, and this in the middle, it's not going to go. But it is going to work. Look, you can see it is working. And that's left and right. So there we go. That's done, other than a bit of fine detailing. I'm really happy with that, to be honest with you.